In a world facing the unprecedented consequences of a global pandemic and years of economic instability causing more households to slip into poverty, CEDA is here. We are stabilizing households, strengthening neighborhoods, and empowering communities by offering a range of services and support they need to change their lives. We help expectant and new moms with nutrition and education. We provide family support, education, job training, and housing counseling. We create healthier and efficient homes. We help keep critical basic needs met by providing water, gas, and electric assistance. CEDA is here. We empower and help over 334,000 individuals and 172,000 households stay afloat, stabilize, and improve their quality of life. Now, CEDA is creating a future to end poverty in our communities. We are building long-term sustainable solutions to meet our vision. This year, we've brought thousands of people together and built a 35,000 square foot training center to further support our communities with training and education and affordable housing programs. CEDA believes in a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Together, we will transform distressed communities.
Hello, and welcome to CEDA's annual meeting 2020, Empowerment and Innovation. My name is Erin Cabway, the Chief Development Officer, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to what we call the CEDA family. We're a family made up of supporters, partners, staff, board, volunteers, clients, and now you. Thank you for joining us today in celebrating our impact this year, and special thanks to our sponsors who made this event possible. I'd like to start off by acknowledging today is December 10th, and it's Human Rights Day, a day we remind ourselves to stand up for our own rights and those of others. At our core, we hold this and the promise of community action close to our hearts. It fuels our mission to diminish poverty throughout the Chicagoland, and we do so by keeping our local safety net in place and supporting families to be strong, healthy, and thriving. Today, we have an exciting hour lined up for you. You'll hear special messages from our local leaders, a State of the Agency update from our CEO, Harold Rice, an announcement on our future endeavors and how you can join us, as well as our Empowerment Awards honoring our clients. Now, to kick it all off, it's my pleasure to share a special message from Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
Hello everyone, I'm Mayor Lori Lightfoot, and it's my honor to be here at CEDA's annual meeting 2020, Empowerment and Innovation. COVID-19 has exacerbated the deep-rooted inequities that have kept our residents trapped in cycles of poverty. That's why I have doubled down on my commitment to eliminating these inequities for good. Thanks to partners like CEDA, this work is made possible. With CEDA's collaboration, we were able to launch initiatives like the Utility Billing Relief Program to prevent residents from being punished for struggling and to maintain their access to basic human rights such as clean water, heat, and electricity. I encourage everyone tuning in today to find similar ways to collaborate with our city to support our most vulnerable residents. Because it's through this teamwork that we can build a more equitable and inclusive Chicago. Thank you, and please, everyone, continue to be safe.
Mayor Lightfoot, your leadership has shined through the darkest hours, and we truly appreciate your steadfast partnership in our work to end poverty. Thank you. Now it's my pleasure to introduce President of the Cook County Board of Commissioners, Toni Preckwinkle, with her special message.
Greetings. This is Toni Preckwinkle, President of the Cook County Board of Commissioners. Thank you for inviting me to share remarks during CEDA's 2020 virtual annual meeting. This has been an extraordinary year, and CEDA's theme highlights two critical themes driving our work during the pandemic: innovation and empowerment. COVID-19 is impacting all of us. We've had to work harder than ever before to find innovative solutions and take an innovative approach to keep our residents safe, healthy, and able to put food on the table. We've had the highest unemployment rate since the 1930s. People aren't just worried about getting sick, People are concerned about losing their homes and losing their jobs and losing their savings. Since March, our efforts have aligned with our pre-pandemic framework to promote equitable economic growth and community development. As a response to the pandemic, we launched the Community Recovery Initiative, creating various programs focusing on community and small business needs. This effort is centered around assisting businesses and communities impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Using the $82 million in CARES Act recovery funds, we've launched housing programs, small business programs, cash assistance supports, expanded our food and shelter supports, and our current program for job seekers. Recognizing the importance of collaboration, we also felt it is essential to share information about supportive resources such as CEDA's Utility Assistance Program. If this pandemic has done one thing, it's created unique opportunities for organizations in government and the private, public, and nonprofit sectors to leverage resources and expand our reach to the residents. We all know that COVID has exacerbated the existing inequities in our society. Now, more than ever, we need to keep equity in the forefront as we plan for the region's recovery. We need to increase economic opportunity and quality of life for all residents, so our residents feel empowered as they move in the direction of recovery. COVID represents a unique opportunity to rebuild stronger after this tragic year. The Chicago region's diversity, strategic location, natural assets, and growing economy make us strong. We need to build on our strengths and think about what will benefit the region as a whole. The county remains committed to empowering its residents and finding innovative solutions, but we can't do it without your support. So today, I urge you all to continue working to find innovative solutions to support our communities and identifying promising approaches to addressing challenges. We're stronger together, and your work is needed more than ever. Thank you.
Thank you, President Preckwinkle. Your words and leadership continue to inspire us all, and your partnership has been critical for CEDA's success for many years. Thank you. For more than 5 years, our next speaker has led CEDA to become one of the largest community action agencies in the nation. He's one of the most caring, respectful, and inspirational leaders I've ever met. Ladies and gentlemen, our President and CEO, Harold Rice.
Thank you, Aaron. On behalf of the Board of Directors, the C-Suite, the leadership team, and staff of CEDA, I'd like to sincerely thank all of you for joining us here today via this virtual presentation. I hope you will be as excited as I am to hear from our dynamic speakers today who will provide their insights on transformative change that has and will direct the Chicagoland area as we successfully manage our way through this pandemic to improve lives. I especially want to thank our esteemed panel of speakers for graciously accepting to be a part of this. Thank you, Honorable Mayor Lightfoot and Honorable President Preckwinkle, for joining us here today. Mayor Lightfoot, I want to personally thank you for inviting me to your STEP Summit, which is the Solutions Towards Ending Poverty, this past February, that focused on coordinated strategies around entrenched poverty and economic hardships, both its causes and symptoms. I also want to sincerely thank you for strengthening the bridge in trust and confidence in CEDA to implement the Utility Budget Relief Program for the City of Chicago, as well as other program initiatives to come. President Preckwinkle, since I don't have 3 hours to celebrate our long-term relationship over my 6-year tenure here at CEDA, I will just highlight my comments by personally thanking you for your personal commitment and support from the county, which contributed to the successful turnaround and growth of CEDA during those fragile and tenuous years prior to and during my tenure. This could not have been possible without your critical support and partnership. And from our friend, my friend, David Wardman, the Deputy Director of Community Assistance of the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, who you will all have the pleasure of hearing from later this morning. David, thank you for your true partnership around shared values to eliminate poverty not only for all of Cook County, but for the Community Action Agency network here in Illinois. And thank you to all of you tuning in, our partners, investors, clients, and staff. This is the first time we have all convened virtually or otherwise to discuss the serious needs of Chicagoland right now, and especially during these unprecedented times. It would be very remiss of me not to remind everyone to wear a mask consistently and correctly, wash and sanitize your hands, stay 6 feet apart, and avoid crowds whenever possible. 2020 is a year none of us could have ever predicted. Like you, our team is deeply concerned with how COVID-19 has impacted our already distressed communities. As you know, this pandemic has already heightened and illuminated disparities that we have always seen, from the lack of access to health care to higher rates of underlying health conditions to staggering unemployment rates without access to livable wages and employment. Compounded with civil unrest brought on by decades of racial and social injustices and a renewed spotlight on systemic racism in our most fundamental social structures. Much of our Chicagoland area is in need of support and stability. CEDA has been challenged in this moment, unlike never before, challenged to strengthen our foundation, our safety net programs, to speak up against hatred and bigotry, and tear down the barriers of equality once and for all. While balancing the challenge of service and safety through these unprecedented times, with the support of our funders and sound business management, we are here for you. Most importantly, our budget didn't get cut. In fact, it was increased through CARES and unrestricted funds to shore up our efforts to stabilize Chicagoland households in 2020 and well into 2021. Another fact, CEDA has recently served over 163,000 households and 334,000 individuals this year. Our 35 locations and 118 partner intake sites have worked tirelessly to create safe and effective ways for residents in need to access our services from the safety of their homes, while we've processed hundreds of thousands of applications this year. The promise of community action is why we are here and have been for almost 55 years. The promise to change people's lives, embody the spirit of hope, improve communities, and make America a better place to live. We care about the entire community, and we are dedicated to helping people help themselves and each other. Crisis and disruption often birth what was never imaginable or possible before. Albert Einstein said, "In the midst of every crisis lies great opportunities." We know now more than ever, we need to be innovative, starting now. During this program, you will hear about our plans to accelerate change in Chicagoland and build the structures needed to lift households out of poverty once and for all through our CEDA Innovate initiatives and partnerships. As a private nonprofit community action agency, we have already begun the process of transformation with brand new efforts launched during this challenging time in 2020. And major companies, like some of our sponsors and foundations mentioned by Aaron, have taken notice, leading to our strongest unrestricted fundraising year to date. Through the support from our state funder, DCEO, the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, it allowed us to streamline our processes. But I'll let my friend David Wortman, the Deputy Director of Community Assistance, discuss those details shortly. We reached millions of people with calls to fill out the Census 2020 with a 74% response rate. In this virtual world, we brought over 700 people together in just 2 weeks through our webinars and live Q&A series called CEDA Helps. where we shared much needed resources with those who needed it the most. This year, we also delivered food, water, flashlights, hygiene products to elderly and disabled members of our most devastated communities by partnering with the Greater Chicago Food Depository, ComEd, just to name a few, especially during the power outages. Out of the many communities we serve, the city of Harvey has been a major focus at CEDA, whereby they were identified in serious need of increased support. In general, low-income children in Harvey rank far behind low-income children nationally, and the patterns of disparity in Harvey align with patterns of racial segregation. Violent crimes is more than 2 times the Illinois average, and the rate of homeownership is declining faster in Harvey than it is across the nation. We have been awarded the prestigious opportunity to partner with the Robin Hood Foundation's Mobility Labs to launch Engage Harvey. This initiative will create a 3-year project in Harvey to produce sustainable mobility from poverty. Our first step was connecting with the community. We hosted focus groups to ask Harvey residents and stakeholders to tell us what would give them hope, what problems are they encountering, and what are the most important things to focus on to help people in Harvey move out of poverty. Local jobs, fair wages, education, activities for kids were all key factors the residents identified. After convening the community, it was time to empower them to create and vote on proposals. In fact, members of Harvey just finished voting on the proposals between the 3 key areas, which focused on city revitalization, youth engagement, and building skills for self-reliance. Stay tuned to our social media channels. We just can't wait to share the results with you. We took on these necessary challenges without hesitation because we know they are critical steps on the road to eradicating poverty in Chicagoland. Once again, I want to thank you for all walking down this road with us. Together, we will transform Chicagoland. Now, please help me welcome my dear friend and trusted partner, David Wardman. Thank you.
Hello, my name is David Wortman. I'm the Deputy Director of the Office of Community Assistance at the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. I want to thank Harold and the team at CEDA for inviting me to speak to your annual meeting this year in 2020, the year of COVID. I'm honored to speak here, and I'm honored to talk about the DCO programs and how we work together with CEDA. So we have our DCO funds 3 large programs: the LIHEAP PIP program, which is energy assistance, community service block grant, and weatherization. And this year, because of COVID, those programs are larger than they've ever been. So in a normal year, our LIHEAP PIP program will do something like 150 to 170 million. We're hoping to do $300 million in services this year to clients. CSBG, the community service block grant, will normally do $30 million. This year, we're trying to do $70 million. Weatherization, we're not quite sure because COVID affects the work that the teams do. So we're hoping to have a good year, but likely won't be seeing what we normally do in a normal year. And we've put some technologies in place to allow us to work more efficiently with our remote operations. We've done some things on our side, and we've worked with CEDA to do things on their side to make it so clients who need our assistance are able to do so safely and remotely. And some of those things that we've done, we've set up a website so that clients can input information that CEDA needs to process applications for LIHEAP and for CSBG. So we set up the Help Illinois Families website, and I got a couple of website screenshots here, so someone can type in helpillinoisfamilies.com and it will take them to this website. Down below there's a button to hit pre-application, and then a client can just input the services that they need and then information about their households that will allow an intake worker at CEDA to start the application for LIHEAP or CSBG services. So we started this Help Illinois Families back in June, and since that time, we've had over 100,000 pre-applications that have gone through our system. And in July, August, September, we were averaging about 500 pre-applications a day. And the last week, we've had 1,500 a day. And we know going into December, January, February, in the heart of the winter, we're going to see more need than ever. So we have a lot of work ahead of us. We've also worked with CEDA closely on a call center to allow citizens to have a number that they can call to get assistance with their pre-application or to find out more information about their application. And those kind of things are what are going to be necessary to really help clients apply for our services and then understand how to track their application. So all of this is new. COVID has changed things, but our partnership with CEDA is strong, and Help Illinois Families and our call centers, these are things that are going to be around even after we get through this COVID emergency. But for the next few months, I'll just continue to work with the CEDA team. I think that, if we keep working together, we'll get as much assistance out as possible these next few months. And we know that that's very important. So that's an update from DCEO. Continue to be happy to work with CEDA, happy to be invited to speak to the meeting this year, and continue to look forward to our work together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. Your message and client-first focus truly demonstrates the impact of our partnership. We are grateful for your leadership, and I have to say, I was so excited to learn that you, like me, and members of my team were a Peace Corps volunteer. It really speaks to your dedication in the service of others. We appreciate you. As we all know, this year has been tough. During the most challenging times, I'll pause and look for a light of inspiration. More than a few times, I've reread our blogs and watched videos of our clients sharing stories on how CEDA changed their life. Little did they know, one act, letting us a peek into their life, changed ours and so many others as well. This is why we created the Empowerment Awards, which honors those who use their voice to encourage others and strengthen neighborhoods, sharing resources like CEDA services to allow them to stand on their own 2 feet. Their service strips away the shame that all too often comes from needing assistance to meet basic needs and make it through the day. Our awardees are the epitome of strength and resilience. And here to introduce our first awardee, one of our very own program directors.
Hello, my name is LaToya Butler, and I lead the programs that provide people with utility bill assistance. It is my pleasure to introduce to you today Bernita Davenport McWhite. Bernita received support from CEDA back in 2017 and went on to become one of our most amazing advocates for change across the Chicagoland area. She uses her voice to empower others, and when I say this woman she loves everyone. Just one of those people who genuinely wants to help people from the bottom of her heart. As a community leader and ambassador, having shared her story at press conferences, through our blog, and most recently during a CEDA Helps live Q&A on Facebook, Bernita uses her voice to empower others every day. I am pleased to present Bernita with CEDA's 2020 Empowerment Award. Bernita, it has been a humble privilege to know you and to call you family. Congratulations.
Thank you, Latoya, Aaron, Harold, and everyone who has supported me in my journey. It's been a wild one. I am a returning citizen. I've made some mistakes in my life. I began to commit crimes thinking it could help put food on the table. And instead, it took me away from my family for 4 years. When I came home in 2017, I was on parole and wearing an electronic monitoring bracelet. I was struggling, but there are no words to express how happy I was to be home. Times were tough. We didn't have 2 pennies to rub together, but we were together, and that meant a lot. Things quickly turned south for me and my family. The day after I came home, my electricity was disconnected. And I panicked because one of my parole stipulations was that I had to be electronically monitored through this ankle bracelet, which had to be connected to the electricity. I'm stressed, trying to find a job, remain in good standing with the law, really trying to get on my own 2 feet. My parole officer told me that I would go back to prison if my lights were not reconnected immediately. It was a matter of days before I would lose everything. There are no words to describe what it feels like to lose your freedom. Thinking of going back to prison, losing my family again, losing my life again. I thought I could just get out and build a better future while changing my destiny. So my parole officer was en route so I could turn myself in about 2 hours. There it was. I'm ready to turn myself in. CEDA got my lights turned back on. Thank God, thank God. I had just enrolled in the North Lawndale Employment Network's U-Turn Permitted program, and I remembered that they also assisted their clients with getting help with the light and gas bills through CEDA. It really changed my life. I went on to become one of the biggest believers and supporters of the CEDA program. Latoya, I don't know how many people I have engaged in my community about the great works of CEDA and how you all can help over the years. Thousands, maybe close to millions, but a lot of people. And about 2 years after this, after CEDA assisted with getting my lights turned back on, while I was working with a client, I ran into my old parole officer that was about to take me back to prison when I came home. While talking to her, I had an opportunity to give her my business card. And while visiting with her as well, I informed her that now you can refer to me as Bernita Davenport and not my retired Illinois Department of Correction inmate number. What a great, great feeling it was. Nowadays, with COVID-19 and people losing their jobs, there's a great need for CEDA's assistance. And CEDA is and always has been there with open arms to help me, and everyone who needs support comes to them. When I think what CEDA means to me and my community, it's really hard not to get emotional. It means I'm not going to be put in a position to where I have to decide if I'm going to eat or have my lights turned on, or if I'm going to sit in shame or freedom. CEDA is truly a relief to me and my entire community and so many families. Again, thank you so much for this honor. I truly appreciate the opportunity to continue to work with you all to support my community and partner with CEDA. Thank you.
Oh, Bernita, every time I hear your story, it pulls on my heartstrings. Bernita, you know how much we love you. You are the CEDA family, and we are so humbled to say we know you. Congratulations. Here to introduce our second awardee is one of our dedicated program managers.
Good morning. My name is Selena Colon, and I work with the home weatherization team here at CEDA. I'm extremely grateful for the honor of introducing you to someone that is the epitome of strength. I met Angie earlier this year, right as the COVID crisis was unfolding. As moms trying to understand what this new normal was, we immediately connected. And now I can emphatically say that working with amazing people like Angie, who can use a little support from us, makes what we do here at CEDA worthwhile. When Angie applied for the weatherization program, she had no idea what items she'd be approved for in her home. She later contacted us because her furnace wasn't working in hopes to gain priority service, as she had been quoted an unsurmountable amount of money for a used furnace. Since our weatherization program services the house as a whole, in addition to replacing her heating system, we replaced other non-energy conserving items in her home with more energy efficient ones, such as air conditioner and smart thermostat. We also sealed drafty areas while improving the indoor air quality of her home, installed insulation, among a bevy of other services that assist by decreasing her carbon footprint and serve as health and safety measures as well. That's what we do here at CEDA every day. We take people's homes, we make them more energy efficient while educating homeowners on how these changes, coupled with some small changes on their end, can save money in the long run while prioritizing health and safety in their homes. As a single mom, Angie has faced her own hurdles in life, but she continuously works hard to overcome them. I admire her strength and perseverance. She's one of the nicest people I've ever met. Not only has she opened the door and enabled us to assist her, but she's also opened her heart to us and to hundreds of others like her who also need help. Angie, I'm so proud and happy to call you one of my friends. More accurately, I'm proud to call you one of my family. Since our first meeting, you have gone on to touch so many lives by lending your strength and using your voice to empower others. You've allowed us to feature your story in a commercial, reaching millions across the Chicagoland area. You've shared your story on our blog, and you're joining us for the upcoming CEDA Helps Live Q&A on Facebook, in the hopes of enabling each individual family so they can gain assistance from CEDA. Please know that your efforts have not gone unnoticed. Thank you for all you do and never quit. I'm so honored and so humbled to be the first to congratulate you on your award.
Thank you, CEDA, for the Empowerment Award. I am so honored and thankful to be receiving this. I am a huge advocate for the program and its benefits. I tell everyone around me about how you were able to help my family and I through a really difficult time. Back when the pandemic first started, I was in a situation where I had to look for a different job, and that's when my heater decided to go out. I heard about CEDA through a friend, submitted an application, and later received a response from Selena. And she was able to send somebody out right away to inspect the furnace. And within the week, I was able to get approved to get it replaced. When the CEDA team came out to replace it, it was really uncertain times, and they took all safety measures to make sure my family and their team was safe. We had Mr. John Patty out as well and overlooking the job and making sure everyone's safety was priority. I am so thankful for this program. I am a huge advocate of the program, and once again, I want to say thank you so much for thinking of me for this award, and I want to say thank you a million, CEDA program, for everything you do for all families out there. Thank you.
Congratulations, Bernita and Angie. You both are so deserving of this award. We thank you so much for all that you do. In strategic planning, our organization made the decision to continue strengthening and stabilizing our communities with our current programs while expanding our future with additional programming by building long-term sustainable solutions to meet our vision to end poverty in the Chicagoland area. We know from our almost 55 years of experience working in the community that our most vulnerable neighbors are facing incredibly difficult times. The threats of COVID-19, racial injustices, and shrinking job opportunities create additional hurdles on the road to prosperity. The year 2020 and all of its challenges has made the need to diminish poverty more urgent than ever. I'd like to introduce you to my friend and colleague who's leading CEDA to this new future.
I'm John Patty, Chief Expansion Officer at CEDA and Chicago born and raised. As someone who grew up in a low-income neighborhood in the South Side, my work here at CEDA is close to my heart. My passion and dedication drive me to create opportunity and change for those most in need. I remember growing up in Northwest Harvey in a 14x70 mobile home. I grew up understanding struggle. I remember often times when my family had to use the oven and a fan to heat our home and taking ice-cold showers in the winter because we couldn't afford to pay the utility bills. If you'd have told 18-year-old John that one day he'd be an executive working for an organization fighting poverty, he'd think you were a little nuts. I'm humbled to dedicate my days to empower other families and individuals to pursue their dreams and provide for their families through the programs that I manage as part of CEDA's Innovates initiative. One of the huge elements of CEDA's Innovates initiatives will be focusing on ramping up our educational and career training programs at our 32,000 square foot weatherization training center located in South Holland. Our home weatherization program, in partnership with DCEO's Office of Community Assistance, currently trains and certifies workers and contractors with the skills that make them highly desirable in the workforce. CEDA has plans to expand course offerings at the training center starting in 2021. These new, innovative, and collaborative trainings will take the process to a whole new level. CEDA is future-proofing career paths with our training center and partnerships. On the horizon, we have planned to build programs for trades training, building science training, and other in-demand spaces that will only continue to grow as technology develops. With all of this exciting job training, education, and opportunity we'll be able to provide through our South Holland location, I am confident we'll make a real, lasting impact on our friends and neighbors in need. Together, through innovation, collaboration, and community partnerships, we will ensure diversity and equity in disadvantaged and disenfranchised communities. Together, we will transform Chicagoland.
John, this is a huge achievement for our organization. We're all so excited for our new expanded future. This future, this big vision, will be built off of our years of experience and success in 3 pillars. We lead, we collaborate, and convene. Over the next 6 months, you'll see opportunities to invest in this vision. A vision for equity, innovation, and most of all, hope. Please join us as we transform distressed communities, nurturing struggling neighborhoods, and provide new opportunities. This will be based on data-driven community assessments and the development of strategic partnerships. Our first of many areas of focus include education and training, so more and more people have fair-paying jobs, and affordable housing, so our neighbors have a roof over their head, children have stable housing, and communities have the ability to thrive. At CEDA, this is what we do. It's all about impact, kindness, and changing the world, starting with our community first. Together, we can change the course of the future of our communities. I personally invite you to join us on a new adventure to transform Chicagoland. We cannot do this alone. To change our communities from struggling to self-sufficient and thriving, we need your support. As you heard from Harold, this has been our largest year in unrestricted funding, but we need to make a bigger splash. Please give what you can today or before December 31st and have your investment doubled. Generous donors have agreed to match any gifts made this month, dollar for dollar. Help us meet this challenge. Please give to the future today. I hope you've enjoyed your morning with us. Thank you for joining our very first virtual annual meeting 2020, Empowerment and Innovation. We're so thankful for your support, and together we will transform Chicagoland. Stay well.